again. So you know what I noticed? I've already noticed this a while ago, and certain conference calls I had with one of the, like, whenever I was part of certain conference calls with Targeted Justice. Melody was one of the ones that was leading the call, and I jumped in the call. I'm evangelist Jacob McWilliams. I jumped in the call and I was talking about how listening to music can block out some of the remote neuromonitoring. It can confuse the remote neuromonitoring. So I notice every time I'm able to listen to music without the hackers from the Space Force interfering with it, when they don't interfere with it, I'm still being tased with direct to pulse energy weapons. I'm still my income being interfered with. I haven't been having as hardcore attacks as far as being hit hard on my brain. I haven't had as hardcore attacks as I did. I've had a few of them off and on by random, but they zapped my heart with sleep deprivation. They hit me with forced hit me with force pooping. They caused me to give a bowel movement. That's just one of the gang stalking vehicles right there. That one of the main ones in the community that stalks me. One of the main ones in the community that stalks me among almost everyone in this community stalks me. And everyone in the community probably at least saw my brain data and saw that, whether they partake it or say anything scripted or not, they at least saw my brain data. At least. But the point is, I've noticed whenever I block out the remote neuromonitoring and scramble the remote neuromonitoring, with music, they randomly pop out of a whole bunch of them pop out of nowhere. Whenever I'm listening to music for long periods of time, and I don't, and they can't read, and it's the reason why they pop out of nowhere is because they can't understand and decipher my thoughts from the music that I'm listening to. They don't even know whether or not I'm the one singing or whether or not I'm listening to music. They can't say whether or not I'm the one singing or listening to music. There's another gang stalker. That's another gang stalker there. So, there's a few times the gang stalkers thought I was singing. And then they came around and gave some mad facial expression looks and threw their hands up when they saw my lips not moving much. They saw my lips not moving much and I had headsets in or something. As if it's any of their business whether or not I'm singing or not singing, or whether I'm listening to music or not. As if that's any of those narcissistic demonic people's business. That's basically what they are, narcissistic and demons. As if they're obligated to know every single move I'm making or my thoughts. As if they own my brain. So, if the space they can't read my thoughts. The gang stalkers in America. I don't know about other countries because I know there's the same things going on over there. Gang stalkers may control they may control all of it over there. But here, the gang stalkers don't control the direct pulse energy weapons. In America, gang stalkers does not control the direct pulse energy weapons. It's the Space Force and military that controls the direct pulse energy weapons. The police also has access to low-grade weapons, but they don't have access to remote neuromonitoring. The police force does not have access to remote neuromonitoring. They're not the ones reading your thoughts. They work together with the military to read your thoughts. And even their limited information, they're being deceived, is what I noticed from my investigations. Even the police departments don't know anything compared to what the target knows. So that's how the Space Force smear campaigns us, and CIA smear campaigns us. They do it with our brain data and our thoughts, and they manipulate our thoughts and stuff like that. Sometimes what goes across their screen is not even our thoughts at all. That's the Space Force saying whatever they're saying. The Space Force is saying whatever they're saying into the V2K, and whatever they're saying also picks it up. So it confuses the Gangstalkers. That's why you see a lot of Gangstalkers all looking confused and stuff. If y'all Gangstalkers ever wonder why, or if y'all not Gangstalkers, if y'all gang-stalking victims, y'all other gang-stalking, I'm one of the gang-stalking victims, obviously. I just got extra stuff happening. If y'all ever wonder why a lot of the Gangstalkers have confused looks and mixed emotions and stuff, it's because they're confused. It's because they're confused. They're confused. They don't know what the hell you're like. They're playing the blame game. They don't know. They don't know as much as they think they know. They don't know as much as they think that they know. They only know what they're told from their higher ups, the ones that hired them. They only know what they're told from the ones that hired them. The ones that hired them know a little bit more information than them. Than your community policing the regular civilians within the community. You got people claiming to be Crips, Bloods, and folks and all that. People that act like they're gangster and all that, but they get off on your torture. They partake in it. So they're hypocrites. They listen to music talking about F the police, but guess what? They're the police, their damn self. They are the police. So, I mean, and Homeland Security hires people like that. Most of the Gangstalkers in our community are drug fiends, drug addicts. Here's another Gangstalker here. He was sitting there for the longest. That's another Gangstalker. That's another one. Most of them are drug addicts. The Homeland Security, they love hiring the drug addicts. They're easy. It's because they're easy to get rid of. That's why the intelligence community, they love to hire drug addicts to do the gang stalking and stuff. They're easy to frame and get rid of. If they end up exposing information to me and they were to some of them were to somehow not gaslight me, and even though they know that I know that they're what's going on, they're not allowed to confirm it. They're going to be blackmailed with the drug. They're going to be blackmailed with those drugs that they do, because they're a drug addict, and that would be easy to blackmail them. And the intelligence community is going to use their drug habits against them. That'll just be one weakness that the intelligence community is going to use against them right there. So, again, they're limited on your brain data. They're confused. Especially if your mind is racing and like you have several thoughts going on in your mind all at once. It confuses them. And a lot of them are so narcissistic, they'll say, I wish she would shut up. Well, first of all, it's my brain. It's my brain. And I don't got to shut my brain up. It's my brain. You can get the F off of my brain, is basically what I say. You can get the F up off of my brain, because it ain't your brain, it's mine. Get on off of my brain right now. That's what I tell them. Get the F off of my brain. Get the fuck off my brain. That's what I tell them. It's not your brain. It ain't none of your business what's on my brain. If I was reading your thoughts right now, I probably wouldn't like it either. Would I? But I can't just flat out tell your thoughts to shut up, or tell you to shut your thoughts up. All I have to do is just stop trying to read your thoughts. Simple as that. That's how you can shut that up. Stop trying to read my thoughts, and you won't have to hear my thoughts, would you? Stop trying to hear my thoughts, and you won't have to hear it. You're a bunch of narcissists getting off on a little bit of power and control, and that's why. Shoot, I understand now. Well, I mean, I don't. It's two-sided. It's two-sided. I was about to say I understand why the military doesn't give the public access to all of that. I understand now why the military hasn't given the public access to all that, because the public would be out of control with it. There's plenty of narcissistic, demonically influenced people that would be out of control, and they don't know how to handle it. They can't understand it. They'll be out of control with it. So we can't trust the public. If we can't trust the military with it, we cannot trust the public with it. And it's not God's will. It's demonic. It's demonic for you to have mind-reading technology. Yes, it is. Certain AI technology can come in handy, but all that higher tech AI technology, such as remote neuroweapons, remote neuromonitoring, and you're able to control the body movements. You're able to control my arm from my brain. By controlling my brain, you can control my arm and make my arm move without my permission. Without my permission, I would be able to resist you moving my arm. I can resist it on where you want my arm to be, but it's demonic for you to be able to use a weapon to control my arm movements and my motor movements in my body, making me hop on one leg and all that. You have partial control over my entire body with these weapons. That's demonic, and that's not God's will right there. From all the way in Colorado Springs, you're able to zap my private areas, vibrate my private areas with these weapons via satellite towers, and cause a forced erection or forced orgasm that I do not want. And I can't do nothing about it. I can't stop you because I'm right here. I have to sit here and take that forced orgasm, and you're over there torturing me with sensations, sexual sensations and stuff. And because the public don't understand it, they're like, well, if you're having sensations, you must enjoy it. No, I don't enjoy it. And see, that's how powerful God, like, if you thought that you had full control over your own body and own sensations, you're sadly mistaken if you experience what us targeted individuals experience. You are sadly mistaken. They zap us with these frequencies. They manipulate our thoughts, putting a whole bunch of stuff in our head. They put artificial dreams in my head, saying, see, all of them want to do something to you or with you. But you're too threatening and aggressive. I don't want to do nothing with none of them. I'd rather have a godly wife. Yes, I'm tortured sexually. Y'all are forcing me to crave sex and everything else. Forcing me to crave sex and everything else. Forcing me into isolation. I can't trust nobody. But I'm not consenting to no rape. I'm not consenting to those artificial dreams being put in my head. Without all that, I can resist sexual temptation. Without the manipulation of these weapons, manipulating my hormones, I can resist my hormones a whole lot better without all that. But when I'm being attacked with it, I can't resist it that good. So yes, I'm running out of space, and I'm going to have to delete some of my other videos that I already posted that are to clear up some storage. Anyways, if you use music, that scrambles your remote neuromonitoring. If you gang stalking other gang stalking victims, You probably don't realize that you may have remote neuromonitoring on you, and you're next in line. If one of us died, you may be the next in play and next to take that person that died's place. You may be the next in line, or they may choose a gangstalker. I don't know. It depends. They may choose one of the gangstalkers if the gangstalker becomes a whistleblower. It all depends on how fearful and desperate they are. But music scrambles your thoughts. I ran out of space, so I had to delete a few videos. I had to merge stuff together and delete a few videos that I've already posted, obviously. I had to merge several clips together because of that. But to bounce off of it, the whole point, music, and when you listen to music, that scrambles your remote neuromonitoring up because they can't decipher between your thoughts and the music. Neither do they know unless your thought says so that you're listening to music. So you could be listening to music and multitasking, and they're not gonna know whether or not you're leaving the state or not because they're too confused on whether or not that's music you're listening to, and they're going to be too focused on they have to focus mainly on your thoughts, and so while you're listening to music, while you're singing, and you're also playing two separate songs, you're leaving the state. They're not going to. It would be hard for them to decipher. Your thoughts are going to tell you that you're leaving, or going to say that you're leaving the states. They're going to be able to read that also. But it's going to be hard to when you're multitasking. It's going to be hard for them to read a thought where it says "I'm leaving the state," because your brain is multitasking, is listening to music at the same time as listening to a whole bunch of other stuff. Your brain is going all over the place because it has music in its ear. It has this person over here talking, and it has this over here. Your brain is picking up multiple different things all at one time, and it's confusing the gangstalkers. So that's why if they can't hear your thoughts during a certain selected period of time, a whole bunch of gangstalkers are going to come out of the woodworks. Every now and then, they at least have one or two of them, but a whole bunch are going to come out of the woodworks if they can't spot you. And that's why you see a bunch of confused looks on the gangstalkers, because they don't understand. And that's also why they try to approach you and make conversation with you. And have you noticed, after they make conversation with you, they say, hold on 1 minute, and then they run out the door or something, and then they come back. When they're running out the door like that, they're going to get their phone. A lot of times if they say I don't got a phone with me, it's because they had to leave. They left their phone, just in case you ask them to let you see the phone. So what they're doing, they're going to look and see what your brain said, because they're trying to read your thoughts, because they get off on reading your thoughts, and that's how you know they're not your friend, right there. That's how you know they're not your friend. They're not trying to be your friend. They're there to harass you. They're there to stalk you and survey you, because they're making money off of you and pimping you out. So they went to try to see what your thoughts were saying, and see if it matched what you were saying out loud to them in person. They're trying to see what you're saying out loud in person is matching what your thoughts are saying on whatever the Space Force is sharing with them. So they do know that you do have. They obviously know about remote neuromonitoring. They know about it, and they get off on it. They all have different opinions, but they're still stalking, though. They're still stalking you at the same time, whether they have different opinions or not. Go in peace, brothers and sisters. Shalom.